All right, today I decided that since Jufin has made his blessings tier list, since my boy has done it, I've looked at it and I don't know, something just doesn't sit right with me. So I thought, why not? I've been playing SBR since it released, like every single day. I love the new rework, and I thought I would just like rank these blessings and let everyone know which actually are good and which actually are like mid and which actually are just broken straight up. Now I'm gonna break down like the tier list. So the blessings that will go in D tier are only viable with one stand. In C tier, viable with 2 or more stands, like 3 or 4. So like you wouldn't usually pick it, but it's pretty good depending on the stand you have. B, just good overall. Like I don't know. Avatar of Hermes pretty just solid overall, Blighted Quiver, stuff like that. Then A, solid option overall, so it's like in general there's not necessarily a reason why you wouldn't pick it if you got it in your draft. And then S, it's just broken. Like whatever stand you have, just equip it and it's just OP. So straight away we're gonna have Avatar of Hermes, and I think this reduces stand. I think it reduces stand ability blinks and dashes by 30%, and character dashes are only 15. I mean, okay, I think it would be good overall. I think it's pretty good overall because lowers cooldown for boxing shuffle, lowers cooldown for dash, lowers cooldown for all MIH moves, which is it's crazy. Like the speed slice goes from 20 to 17 seconds. Then I think besides the dashes, even time skip, and I think some counters too. Curse Blade for Anubis, I think, also counts. It's a pretty good ability, There's not really much of a reason why you would pick it unless you got something more broken, like Jeweled Soul or something. But yeah. Next one, we have we have Blessed Odds. It's broken. You have 2-0 or GR with this, and then you have Jeweled Soul. You're going to be doing 50 damage smites and 80 damage birds. So just have this. Your crit chance goes up by 40%. There's zero reason why you would not pick this. I mean, let's say like you're running MR and you don't get Jeweled Soul, then I see why you wouldn't run it. But this is like OP for 99% of the stands. So yeah. Next, we have I forget what it's called. I mean, it's inspired off JJK. So... Oh yeah, Blessing of Sparks, yeah. So this, I think, it's really good overall because if you have a close range stand and you're good at parrying, this is really good. This is really good if you're good at parrying. Like, for example, me, even though like I use 6 pistols and I just run around the whole fucking time, I still think this is really good for me because if a GR is just pressing me and maybe like he heavy punches or something and I just parry and then I chuck out a bullet, then that's like 50 damage. Or like you're running 2-0 and you're trying to M1 trade and then someone just does like an M2 or a heavy punch, you parry that, boom, you get a 60 damage through M1. So I think it's just really good overall. Then this Blighted Quiver, I'm actually put it in B tier because it affects stands with knives, it affects 6 pistols, MR, then spin too. I mean, I think it's pretty good, but I think if you have like a stand like 2-0, you wouldn't want something else, even though you do have the knives. But on a stand like 2-0 or 6P, I think this is pretty necessary, to be honest. Then this we have, I think this is the one where you heal 10% of your damage with a blade attack. I think I'm gonna put this in kind of. I'm gonna put this in D tier to be actually. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in D tier because I don't know. It's only valuable with like Anubis, and I'm not sure if it affects Silver Chariot. I haven't fought any Silver Chariots in SBR. If it does, maybe it's a C tier. But I mean, while it's really good, it's only good on Anubis, so there's no other reason why you would pick it. Also because knives don't count for this, so yeah. Next, we have deal 30% more poison damage and resist 30% more poison damage. This is easy D tier. This is only for Purple Haze, and maybe for Anubis is God of Death. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty valid. Then we have Deft. I think this is the one where your M1 speed up by 20%. Easy S tier. This is OP AF. 2-0. You have 10 damage M1s that are true. You just M1, M1, M1. And now that like you can hold M1s with this speed thing, you can just make them true. You could just keep doing 50 damage M1s. And if you have blessed odds, you do 15 damage M1s, M1, 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 and then like they're gonna die from like 10 M1s. It's crazy. The next, I think the thorns. This is like physical thorns. I think every time you get damaged, I think 5% of it goes to your opponent. I think this is pretty bad. I think this is a D tier. If you guys don't agree, just type in the comments. But I don't think this is that controversial because I don't know. This is not that good. Like, let's be honest. Especially because it doesn't actually work with many moves. I've had it, and then sometimes they do something and they take damage. Sometimes they don't. I don't know how this works, but it's pretty bad. I mean, I wouldn't. 90% of these are way better than this. So yeah. Next, Executioner. I would put it in S tier, but I'm just gonna put it in A tier because you know you do have to get them to 50%. I think that if you have a stand like Six Pistols who can get them below 50% immediately, then I think this could be actually an S tier. But since like you do have to work until the 50%, let's say you're using SP boxing and they're also using SP boxing or like GER boxing, then this is gonna be pretty mid, but I think it's still pretty good. So I'm just put it in A tier for now because it's good with stands that can put you under 50%, and then decent with stands that take more work for it. Next, Firebrand. Firebrand. I mean, you would only use this with MR, and let me tell you why. So, in Juventus' video, he said that it works with Hermit Purple, and Firebrand actually doesn't. The only thing that Firebrand works with Hermit Purple is the burn that it actually does when you get Hamon with it. So when you get Hamon, Hermit Purple, you can get the, I think, Hamon Discharge or whatever it's called, and like your attacks do burn when you have Hamon charge and use a Hermit attack or even M1s. And this will actually increase your burn from 1 damage per tick to 1.3 damage per tick. So it actually isn't good on Hermit at all. It doesn't buff the moves. I tried it myself. Doesn't work on Hermit, so I'm gonna put it in D. But remember, guys, D tier isn't like that they're bad. It's just that they're only valuable with like one stand. This is if you have MR and you're playing MR spin and you have this plus piercing arrow. Oh, bro, easy 80 damage crossfires and you're good. But if you don't have MR, then it's useless. Goliath. Ooh. I really like Goliath. If you have boxing, this is just broken. This is broken if you have boxing because you just get the meat shield passive that it once had. So I think I'm actually gonna put it in S tier. In many tier lists, I've seen that they put it in A tier, but I think I'm actually gonna put it in S tier. I think it's really good. I mean, there's no reason for you not to pick it unless you get Jeweled Soul or less odds or whatever fits your stand best. I think this is just great for everything, and this just triples how broken boxing actually is. So I'm gonna put it in S tier. Immortalized. This makes it so that like when you're at 30% HP, you get a 90 HP shield or 25% HP shield, and then when the shield breaks, you heal for 10% of your HP. And the cooldown's 90 seconds. I think this is pretty good, although the shield does expire after 10 seconds. So I don't know. I think it's good overall. You can put it with anything, and it's good because it can save you. But if you're against like 2 to 3 people, then this is useless. Like you're just gonna die. You get ganked, you're gonna die. Doesn't matter if you have the shield. So yeah, this does more damage with blade attacks. I think, yeah, this is the one. I think I'll put it in C tier. You know, I mean, it does do more damage with stands like Silver Chariot and Anubis, which is viable with 2 or more stands. So I'm actually gonna put it in here because these aren't based off like strength, kind of. I mean, the bottom 2 are just viable with a set number of stands, because of course if one thing is only viable with Anubis and you don't play Anubis, then you're not gonna pick it and it's automatically bad by default. So I'm actually gonna put this in C tier because it's also viable with Silver Chariot, and it works with Silver Chariot Requiem's Aero Barrage and with pluck moves. So I think C tier pretty good. Then we have Jeweled Soul, S tier. Bro, S tier. Your base crit chance is 10%. With Jeweled Soul, your stand abilities can crit, and you get a 15% chance more of crit. So in total, you get 25%, and your stand moves crit. But then you can also get Blessed Odds, 40% more, 65% total crit chance. Then you get the other one, Jeweled Vessel, I think it's called. Your spec moves can crit, 25% more crit chance, and that's 90%. So yeah, this is broken. The hand, if you guys saw the hand solo SBR wipe, 140 damage erasures every single time. This is the most broken thing ever. And yeah, thank God crits normally or just on M1s and M2s, which I still think is kind of OP, but this is pretty good. Like this just breaks the entire thing of crits, because the only reason why you can't explicitly call them broken is because they're only on M1s and M2s, but this just breaks crits in every way. And I think the ability to crit with your spec moves, it's not that useful, but I think solid A tier. I mean, I'm gonna put it behind Blessing of Sparks. This is Jeweled Vessel, pretty good. I mean, it buffs your crit chance and makes your spec moves crit, so if you're using Hammer and you hit a lock and plug, I think that's pretty good. If you're using spin, really good. So, you know, even plug, pretty good. So, solid option overall. I'm just gonna put it in A tier. Then we have Last Stand. I mean, if you're using GR, this is completely useless. If you're using any stand that heals you, this is completely useless. If you're a good player and you usually never get below 50%, this is pretty bad. But for the average player, I think this is pretty good, so I'm just gonna put it in good overall. It basically, what it does is increases your damage by 15% whenever you are below 50% HP. I think it's pretty good, but there's definitely more broken stuff on this list. Then we have Left Hand Goodnight. This buffs your M1 damage by 20%. If you're using 2-0, this is it. You're doing 12 damage M1s. This is pretty good. I think I'm just gonna put it in A tier. I think that's pretty good call, to be honest. I think that putting it in A tier will be good because maybe against boxing it's not that effective because of, you know, you don't do as much damage as you would. Like if SP does 8.9 damage M1s, and if you have Left Hand Goodnight and you go against boxing, it'll do only 8.2. So you will still do 0.7 minus M1 damage. So it doesn't even fully cancel out. So I don't think it's that good. But on many stats, this is really good. So I'm just going to put it in A tier. North God, I mean, I think I've seen people put North God in C tier. I think North God's pretty good overall. I mean, it's not an S tier like in Juven's tier list. I think that was just a oversight, but I think, dude, B tier for North God, pretty good because, you know, boxing users, boxing shuffle, normal dash, MIH. So basically what this does also, this gives you 2 defense every time you dash for 30 seconds and it stacks up to 5 times. So you get 10 defense, just lasting 30 seconds, but every time you dash, it resets the counter. So you basically have 10 more defense. I think that's really good, especially in Gacho boxing. Yeah, I think B tier, pretty good, to be honest. Then now we have piercing arrow. This buffs your projectile damage by 20%. This, I believe, affects knives, 6p, spin, last shot of silver chariot. This affects crossfires. What else? I mean, also the SBR revolver, if you want to count that. I mean, that one, yeah, I mean, it just depends on the stand you have, but I think this is really good. Oh yeah, even Twal, the revolver, D4C, yes, absolutely. I think I'm actually going to put it in A tier because it's, oh, even GR. My bad, even GR. The scorpions and the bird get buffed by this. So if the bird hits someone without a spec and you're running GR spin with this, the bird's gonna do like 80. It's broken. I'm gonna put it in A tier, just because I think piercing arrow is better than what people think it is, depending, of course, on the stand you have. Then this serpent, serpent's fang. This makes you deal, I think, 5% of your damage or 20% while someone's blocking. So if someone's holding block and you like crossfire with MR, you're still, they take like 6 damage, but they don't take the burn, which is why I'm not gonna put it like in A or S. Well, I think B tier is a good place. I mean, pretty viable overall. If you're running something like SP boxing, you're gonna want to use it because people often block against it, so you can do some pretty good chip damage with it, so I think it's pretty good on it. Then we have Spirit Visage. Now, this buffs your heal by 20%, but the problem with this, okay, the problem with this is the fact that I don't know if it affects health regen or posing. If this affects health regen or posing, this goes in straight up in S tier. No questions asked. If it affects even health regen, but this only affects GR heal, GE heal, Crazy Diamond heal, and Blighted Quiver heal. So if you have Blighted Quiver and Spirit Visage with 6 pistols, I think it'll be really good, or with 12. So yeah, I mean, I think it's C tier is a good place for it because this is just crazy on it, to be honest. So I think this is just a good place because GR heals do 70 damage, but you do get like all the other benefits. Like if you have Crazy Diamond teammate, then you're just getting healed for a lot. And if it affects health regen or posing, let me know in the comments, because I'm gonna go test it out later, and if it does, then this is an S tier. And I mean, this is my tier list for blessings and SBR, and if you have anything to say about it, just type it in the comments below. That's what the comments are for. Just let me know what you guys think, man. Low-key, just tell me, oh yeah, you know, putting Firebrand in D is bad, it's OP. Just let me know what you guys think. I think actually this is like the best SBR blessing tier list. Maybe Goliath should be put in A tier, but I think this is pretty solid. Actually, let me put it last. There we go. I think this is pretty good. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.